Hey, what's going on? It's your guy Selector. I'm back at it again. So today I'm just gonna be breaking down the post fight reaction for the fight that just occurred between Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. Interesting fight to say the least. It just happened right now. For those who don't know, Errol Spence he won unanimous decision. Uh, what can I say, man? It was a really good fight. I liked what I saw from Earl Spence. I thought Earl Spence came out there and he showed out and he performed. As far as Danny Garcia goes, I think Danny Garcia he performed as well. He did the best of his ability, but I think Earl Spence just stylistically is just a much more. He's a tough fight for Danny Garcia. He's a tough fighter, like to say the least. I don't think Danny Garcia matches up with Earl Spence due to the fact that he is a flat-footed boxer. But I'm just gonna go through the rounds. I'm just gonna explain what I saw and what I think, and basically what's next for both fighters. Okay, so some may say it was a lopsided fight. I thought it wasn't as lopsided as those who say. So I had basically Danny Garcia winning. I had him winning the second, the fifth round, the seventh, ninth, and 10th. That was it. Earl Spence won every other round. And the ninth and 10th, the reason why I have Danny Garcia winning those rounds is because Errol Spence kind of just slowed down a bit. You could notice he kind of stopped applying. He wasn't throwing as many punches. He was kind of, he was dodging a lot of Danny's shots. You know what I mean? Danny was throwing those wild hooks. Danny wasn't landing as much as Danny usually does. And I think due to the fact that, you know, um, the Orthodox and the Southpaw fighters both are. And basically, you could just see Danny Garcia is a flat-footed boxer, so he's constantly he can't fight going backwards, so he has to constantly go forwards. And on top of that, he has to fight in the inside. He's one of those guys who like to fight in the inside. Earl Spence, on the other hand, can kind of he displays a lot of different things, you know. Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, I think Earl Spence as a boxer, the way he's able to move around the ring. You could see that was becoming a challenge for Danny Garcia, especially early in the fight. Danny Garcia didn't couldn't cut the ring, and Danny Garcia is just kind of a slower fighter. And on top of that, like I said, a flat-footed fighter. So he's kind of stationary type boxer. He's not really gonna, and you know what I mean, and fight back. He's not doing all that. Danny's more kind of like phone booth, walk up to you, a big right hook, the swinging hook, the jabs, you know what I mean? Hits shots to the body. That's the kind of boxer Danny Garcia is. Where Earl Spence, on the other hand, is kind of like he's more versatile, so he does a lot more in the ring. And I think that was a problem for Danny Garcia, to say the least. Overall, Earl Spence, his performance was really good. I think he showed a lot. Danny Garcia is not a boxer who I can't even remember Danny Garcia getting. I don't think Danny Garcia's ever been knocked out before. Like, let's be real. Danny Garcia has a tough chin. He's not going down with a knockout. You're not going to beat. You never. I don't see the probability of knocking Danny Garcia is. I wouldn't put my money on that. I wouldn't even think of even trying to even do something like that. Like, put money on, because Danny Garcia got a tough chin. This isn't no Amir Khan or one of these kind of boxers over here that has a glass jaw, and you swing at him, hit him right way in the jaw, and he's just gonna fold. You know what I mean? And go to sleep. So Earl Spence, though, he showed coming from that car accident that he did, that horrific car accident, and basically being out of the ring for like a year. You know what I mean? He showed a lot. Like, he showed a lot. He showed a lot of his wit. He showed a lot in the ring. Like, he showed a lot. I wasn't too sure what I was getting from Earl Spence. That's why I was going to do a post-fight reaction or pre-fight reaction to pre-fight, just to tell people what the breakdowns is, but I wasn't too sure what I was getting from Earl Spence. After that horrific car accident, I didn't know if he was going to be the same. I didn't know if he was going to be lacking. At the beginning of the fight, the first round, I was a little kind of looking at him like, but then I noticed Spence was trying to, feel himself out, feel Danny Garcia, and he ended up winning the first round too, which was surprising, you know what I mean? So he came back from that car accident. It doesn't look like that really messed him up anyway. It didn't look like it slowed him down. He's recovered very well, and he's obviously learned from it too as well. So, overall, I would say, yeah, he definitely came out, showed out, and did what he had to do as far as he had to do in the ring. So, I don't know. What can I say, man? The fight overall, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good solid fight. Um, like I said, Danny Garcia just, like I said, man, just he would throw Earl threw a lot high volume of punches, and Danny Garcia just couldn't keep up with the high volume of punches Earl was throwing in there. You know, Danny Garcia was active. There was times in the fight where it looked like Danny Garcia was picking it up, but then it was just kind of like he was just kind of he wasn't he needed to do. I think for me personally, I think I needed to see a lot more from Danny Garcia. I think he needed to turn that fight into what Sean Porter turned that fight into, where Sean Porter like basically rushed into Errol Spence and just kind of Danny Garcia needs to do something of that magnitude. Like he should have watched that Sean Porter fight. But stylistically, that's not Danny Garcia's style. Like Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia already. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't know. Personally, I just think I don't know. Earl Spence was just a class above Danny Garcia when it all said and done. And Earl Spence did his thing. Earl Spence, he definitely did his thing. Like there's not really much to say. Like he came in there, he showed really excellent performance. I think Earl Spence is, like I said, he's in my pound for pound list. He's up in there. I have him in the top 3 guys, pound for pound. And I don't care what anyone says. He is in that list. You can't sit down here and dispute that. And with that performance he showed tonight, he showed why he's in that top 3. So, what's next for Earl Spence? Earl Spence, he has the world at his hands. You see what I'm saying? He's been calling out Canelo Alvarez. Is Canelo Alvarez a good fight for him? I don't know. Like, I don't think so. I don't think he should even. I don't even think he should dare do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that just doesn't make no sense at all. There's weight classes for a reason, and Canelo Alvarez, that guy, he's. I don't think it's a smart idea. He wants to also fight Manny Pacquiao. Can he fight Manny Pacquiao? Will Manny Pacquiao give him the opportunity to fight him? I don't know. You know, he could fight him next year. I think that'd be a great fight. I think Errol Spence would get Manny Pacquiao out of here and retire Manny Pacquiao, which I believe he should do. Manny Pacquiao's a legend and all, but Manny Pacquiao, no, I'm sorry, no. He needs to either fight all the young boys or just give up the belt, because you got to fight the guys. You need to fight those guys like the Sean Porters, the Errol Spence, the Terrence Crawfords, even Danny Garcia. Like, you got to give these guys a shot. If you're not going to give the top guys a shot and you want to fight Conor McGregor and Mikey Garcia, guys who aren't even in your weight class or even in your sport, or guys who are not, who you could beat, it's just like, give up the belt and you can go do those fights. It's like, you don't need the belt to do all that. But, we'll see what happens. I think personally, Errol Spence should go after Terrence Crawford. Will he? I don't know. I don't know. I hope he does. I hope Terrence Crawford. That'd be the great fight. Supposedly there's rumors out there that Terrence Crawford is gonna sign that deal with PBC. So we'll see what happens. I don't know until it's finally set, like in stone, written in stone. I'm not really believing anything I hear until it's actually official and solidified. So as far as Danny Garcia, what's next for him? I think he should go and try to call out Terrence Crawford personally. I think him and Terrence Crawford have that history. They fought in the amateurs and whatnot. And they got that long history and the smack talking going on and whatnot. I think Danny Garcia should try to get that Terrence Crawford fight and try to get one of those belts from Terrence Crawford. Because either that or he should call out Pacquiao and try to get one of those belts from him. I think Danny Garcia could possibly pull off the upset with Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Because I've seen Pacquiao go down. So I think Danny Garcia can be the next guy to put Pacquiao down. You see what I'm saying? Pacquiao's an interesting fighter. He's very, very, very fast, very quick. But I think Danny Garcia with a good shot would get Pacquiao out of here at the age he's at today. You see what I'm saying? So I think Danny Garcia should try to go for those two guys. I think Danny Garcia, if he doesn't get him, then who does Danny Garcia fight next? Is he going to fight contenders and guys trying to come up and try to get another title fight? Or is he going to move up in weight? Like, things are, Danny Garcia is at the point in his career where he has to start figuring out. He's in a crossroads. It's like either you're going to try to get a belt and maybe try to get back at Spence, or get possibly back at, or get Terrence Crawford or Manny Pacquiao. Or, like, you got to figure it out, or move up in weight and try your shot at 154. But I don't know, man. It's it's gonna be tough. You see what I'm saying, for Danny Garcia. I think he should, obviously, this year's been just a difficult year for everybody, right? So personally, we'll see what happens and what transpires next. I think I think that the performance today, it was cool, but like to me, just kind of, I don't know. Danny Garcia he's just not. He's just kind of like, he's a good fighter, of course, world class, world boxer. He could beat anyone at once. He could literally beat almost everyone. There's only a few guys at the top he can't beat, but outside of that, anyone else you put him in the ring with, he's gonna beat him. You see what I'm saying? Out of all the whatever thousands of welterweights out there, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's next, man. Maybe he should go to 154. Maybe try his luck over there. Maybe see what he can do over there. I think he can probably win a belt over there. You know, maybe, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires next. But, first and foremost, I like to say, just salute to Errol Spence. Congratulations. You definitely came out. You showed a great performance. You show what you're capable of doing. And I would love to see you face Terrence Crawford. If you fight Terrence Crawford, that's the fight that everybody wants to see. That's the fight that's going to do a lot of numbers. That's going to be selling the pay-per-view numbers. That's going to be selling, that fight will sell. It will sell. It will sell. People want to see that because those are the two best welterweights personally. And those are the two, outside of Canelo Alvarez, those are the other two guys in the pound-for-pound ranking, in my opinion. Those are two of the top three guys in the pound-for-pound ranking. So what does that tell you right there? So that's something that needs to happen. 2021, hopefully cross your fingers that happens, unless Errol Spence goes and fights Manny Pacquiao next. Then I understand, then he gets that belt over there that Pacquiao's holding. I think it's WBA over there. So if he can get that belt, he has the WC and the IBF, and that's the third belt on his repertoire. And then he could fight Terrence Crawford for the WBO. So that's something that could potentially happen. We have to wait and see. As far as that goes, though, there's not really much I can say, Errol Spence did it again. Salute to him. Congratulations to his whole team. I'm happy to see that he's recovered and he's fighting at a world-class level. Really good performance. He went out there, he did what he had to do, and to me, I think he didn't even go 100% because it looked like, he was holding out, and, he's getting, obviously, his first big fight ever since that horrendous car accident when he went flying out of his window. And to me personally, I think that was a really, really good performance. And I don't even think we've seen the best of Errol Spence. So that will come in due time. But we'll see what transpires next, all right? It's your guy, El Selector. I got more content coming. I'm going to be doing the NBA. December 12th, I'll be doing some NBA. NBA preseason is going to be kicking off, so I'm going to be doing some NBA stuff as well. I got more stuff coming in 2021. I got more boxing. I'm going to be doing Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith fight. I'll also be doing the Triple G post-fight reaction, so I'll be doing the Canelo post-fight reaction and the Triple G post-fight reaction. So definitely check me out. I got more content coming. We got a lot more coming in 2021, so please subscribe, hit the like button, support me, shoot this out to your friends. Everybody, your loved ones, and everybody be safe out there and enjoy the holidays. And it's your guy El Selector, okay? So I'm signing out, all right? Peace.